If you've been scrolling through endless recliner options and still aren't sure which one actually makes sense for your cramped apartment, this review should clear that up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last few weeks living with the Wallhugger electric power recliner in a studio that barely fits a bed, a desk, and a couch, and I'm ready to tell you exactly how it behaves when the space is tight and the budget is realistic. First off, let's talk about why a Wallhugger matters. In a room where the wall is already covered by a TV, a bookshelf, and a narrow window ledge, a traditional recliner can dominate the floor plan, forcing you to shuffle furniture every time you want to sit down. This model is engineered to slide just a few inches away from the wall, thanks to a low-profile base that folds under the seat when you push the lever. In practice, that means you can tuck it into a corner that would otherwise be useless, and still have enough room to walk around it. I measured the clearance after setting it up roughly 67 inches from the wall, and it's enough to let a small side table slip in, which is a win if you like a nightstand within arm's reach. The linen upholstery feels softer than the synthetic fabric you see on most budget recliners, and it does a decent job of staying breathable during a 3-hour binge watch session. I tested it on a humid summer evening, and the material didn't cling to my skin the way a polyester blend might. The gray color is muted enough to blend with both cool-toned modern decor and warmer wood accents, so you're not forced into a single design language. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that linen can attract light dust more quickly than leather or faux leather. If you have pets that shed, you'll notice a fine layer of hair after a week, but a quick vacuum with a brush attachment does the trick. Now, about the electric recline mechanism. The button on the side of the armrest pulls the seat back and extends the footrest in a smooth, almost silent motion. There's no loud whirring that would startle a sleeping baby, which is a relief if you live in a shared apartment. The footrest is retractable, so you can keep it flush with the floor when you're not using it, another space-saving nuance that often gets lost on larger recliners where the foot platform stays down permanently. I found the angle of the footrest ideal for reading a tablet. It lifts just enough to keep the screen at eye level without straining your neck. However, the footrest doesn't lock into a fully horizontal position, so if you're looking to stretch out flat for a nap, you'll end up with a slight incline that might feel odd after a while. The USB charging port is a small but thoughtful addition. It's positioned on the right armrest, within easy reach for a phone or a pair of wireless earbuds. I plugged in a phone while watching a movie, and the charge held steady. The port supplies the standard 5V, 1A output, which is enough for most devices but won't fast charge a newer phone that demands 9V or higher. If you need a power-hungry device, you'll still want a separate charger, but for casual use the convenience outweighs the modest current. Who should consider buying this chair? If you're living in a studio, a one-bedroom, or any room where every inch counts, the Wallhugger's footprint is a genuine advantage. It's also a solid pick for a home office that doubles as a relaxation zone. You can sit at your desk for a few hours, then press the recline button and instantly switch to a more ergonomic position for reading or a quick power nap. Families with a teenager who wants a personal spot for gaming will appreciate the built-in USB port and the ability to tuck the chair into a corner without blocking the hallway. On the flip side, skip this recliner if you're looking for a deep-seat lounge chair that lets you lie completely flat. The electric mechanism only pulls the seat back about 30 degrees, and the footrest remains angled. For someone whose primary use is watching movies in a fully reclined position, a traditional recliner with a longer lever and a full-lay foot platform would feel more natural. Additionally, if you're a heavy-set individual, be aware that the weight capacity isn't advertised prominently, but the frame feels comparable to a standard mid-range recliner, which typically tops out around 250 pounds. I'm on the lighter side, so I didn't push the limits, but it's something to verify if you're near that threshold. The practical strengths of this chair become evident after the first week. The space-saving design genuinely lets you keep a small side table, a floor lamp, and even a plant in the same corner, something that would be impossible with a bulkier model. The electric recline is reliable. I pressed the button dozens of times and never heard a click that felt loose or